Noong 2010, pumasok ang Philippine elections sa isang bagong era noong isinagawa ang kauna-unahang automated elections sa bansa. Gamit ang tulong ng makabagong teknolohiya, napalitan ang dati mano-mano at mabagal na pagbibilang at pagkakanvas ng mga boto. Sa automated elections, naging efficient at mabilis ang bilangan, mabilis na nalalaman ng resulta at nawala daw ang dayaan. Pero hindi lahat ng tao ay naniniwala. May ilang mga insidente at alegasyon pa rin ng pandaraya ang lumalabas kasabay nito. Nariyan ang mga PCOS machines na nawawala raw ang source code at di umano'y mga extra PCOS machines na nakita sa Antipolo. Kasama pa rito ang ilang mga incidents at glitches na epekto sa mga botante.
Ang 2010 elections ang pinakahuling matagumpay na eleksyon na isinagawa sa bansa. Ito rin ang kauna-unahang eleksyon sa bansa na gumamit ng makabagong teknolohiya. Sa pagkatuwid, dito naganap ang unang automated election sa bansa. Sa kabila ng deklarasyon ng pagiging matagumpay, ilang mga isyu ang lumabas tungkol dito. Isa na dyan, ang mga petisyon ay pagpaliban ng eleksyon dahil sa ilang technical difficulties sa mga compact flash card o CF card na ginagamit sa memory storage ng mga PCOS machine. Nariyan din ang sinasabing paghahang ng ilang PCOS machines na itinuturong dahilan ng pagkakaantala ng halalan sa ilang lugar sa bansa. Nariyan din ang isyu ng di umano'y dumadaming bilang ng mga null votes, ang pagre-reschedule ng eleksyon sa ilang munisipalidad matapos pagdeklara ng failure of elections. Nariyan din ang pagpapile ng protesta ng ilang kandidato laban sa kanilang katunggali dahil sa di umano'y mga anomalya sa PCOS machines. Sinasabing mahalagang pag-aralan ang mga pagkakamali ng nakaraan upang di na ito maulit pa sa 2013 elections, ang ikalawang nationwide elections na gagamit ng teknolohiya sa tallying. Nawa ang pagkakamali at pagpalya sa nagdaang 2010 elections ay hindi na maulit. Kung ang eleksyon ay magiging hindi malayong palakad sa bansa ay magiging matiwasay rin.
Magandang araw, ako si Robert Tan at kayo'y nanonood ng paghahanda para sa Hatol ng Bayan. Manatiling nakatutok para sa komprehensibong talakayan sa pangunguna ni Cathy San Gabriel sa pagbabalik ng paghahanda para sa Hatol ng Bayan.
Noong 2010, isinagawa ang automated election sa Pilipinas kung saan nagbigay ito ng matagumpay na eleksyon na nagtagal lamang ng ilang araw. Ito ang kauna-unahang eleksyon kung saan nagkaroon ng panalong kandidato sa loob ng 2 araw. Kauna-unahang eleksyon na gumamit ng electronic voting at transmission machine sa ating bansa. At kauna-unahang eleksyon na 1% lamang ang rate of failure of elections.
Ito ang paghahanda para sa Hatol ng Bayan, hatid sa inyo ng media ng bayan na pinagsanib puwersa ng People's Television, IBC, PBS Radyo ng Bayan 738 kHz, Philippine Information Agency, Philippine News Agency, and in partnership with Manila Bulletin, Informatics Diliman, and Air 21. Mapapakinggan nyo rin PBS Radyo ng Bayan 738 kHz. Para sa mga gustong sumali sa aming talakayan, magpadala lamang ng mensahe o katanungan sa aming Facebook page sa www.facebook.com/hatolnangbayan2013 o kaya ay mag-tweet sa @hatol2013. Puntahan na natin si Cathy San Gabriel kasama ang ating mga panauhin para sa ating talakayan. Cathy?
Maraming salamat, Robert. Pagbabantay at seguridad ng ating mga boto. Yan po ang tatalakayin natin ngayong araw. Kasama natin ang ating mga panauhin sa panig ng pamahalaan. Makakasama natin si Director James Jimenez, ang tagapagsalita ng COMELEC. Kasama rin po niya ngayong araw ang isang representative mula sa isang election watchdog group, si Dr. Rene Azurin ng AES Watch. Isa rin po siyang kolumnista ng Business World. Gentlemen, welcome sa paghahanda para sa Hatol ng Bayan.
Maraming salamat po.
Isang update lang po, Director Jimenez, nasa na po ba ang COMELEC ngayon pagdating sa paghahanda para sa halalan?
Sa ngayon, piniprepare na natin yung mga PICOs for shipping at tapos na rin yung ating imprenta ng balota. So, maganda po yung takbo ng preparasyon natin at sa tingin ko, in the next 2 weeks, we'll be able to start yung preparations para sa tinatawag nating final testing and sealing. Ito na yung talagang pinaka-last step bago mismong halalan.
Final testing and sealing.
Yes.
Ano po ang prosesong ito?
Ang proseso ngayon, yan po yung PICOs, nandun na sa lugar na paggagamitan sa kanya at merong ilang balota na ita-test feed doon sa makina. Titignan kung tama yung basa ng makina, titignan kung tama yung transmission nung resulta at kung magtatali ba yung nilalabas ng election returns doon sa mismong balotang ipinasok. Pagkatapos nun, siselyuhan yung buong PICOs at mag-aabang na siya para sa halalan.
Dr. Azurin, you are from AES Watch. Can you tell us more about your group?
AES Watch is a coalition. Basically, it's an election watchdog. It's a coalition of about 40 groups, civic groups, academics, media, industry groups, computer industry groups, which came together basically in 2009 to monitor the poll automation process. It was, after all, the first automation of our elections. And this group monitored also the 2010 elections, and it is continuing to monitor the upcoming elections.
You are coming out with a book regarding the findings on the 2010 elections. Ano po ba yung mga nalaman ng inyong grupo patungkol dun sa kauna-unahang automated election na isinagawa ng ating bansa?
Well, no. In 2010, CENTEG, the Diliman-based Center for People Empowerment and Government, came out with a 600-page report on the findings of 2010. The book that we're coming out with, I think next week, Business World is publishing a book that I wrote called Hacking Our Democracy. And AES Watch is compiling a lot of articles from various people who've written about the elections, and this will be launched together. So that's essentially it. Of course, it's very critical of COMELEC and Smartmatic. No?
Yun nga po, marami pong kritiko pa rin nung automated elections, bagamat sinasabi po nga nating lahat na ito ay naging successful. Ano po ba yung mga common na sinasabi nilang mali dito sa automated elections, Director Jimenez?
Sa tingin ko si Dr. Azurin ang pinakamaganda sumagot niya. Ano? Kasi ang sa amin, sinasabi namin, ang talaga nung success ng election ay makikita mo na yung mga nag-file ng mga protesta, mga nag-file ng reklamo laban sa resulta ng PICOs, lahat yan isa-isang natutumba. No? Lahat-lahat na-dismiss. Bakit? Kasi nung binuksan na yung makina, nung binuksan na yung ballot box pala, no? Nilabas yung balota, inaudit yung resulta, tama, paragi. No? So wala namang napapatunayang boto ng isang tao ay binigay sa ibang tao. No? Maraming pangamba, maraming haka-haka. Pero sa tingin namin, bahagi yan ng sistema ng pag-i-introduce ng bagong teknolohiya. Ang sa amin lang, as long as nakikita natin na wala namang napapatunayan talagang issue o problema na nangyari na pandaraya, sa tingin namin, dapat namin pagpatuloy yung automation.
Sabi nyo nga po, kritiko kayo nung automation. Ano nga po ba talaga yung hindi nyo gusto dito?
Most people, no, ang akala nila dahil in-automate natin ang election, wala nang dayaan. Okay? Sa totoo lang, and this is an illusion that we must correct. Sa totoo lang, mas madali mandaya pag automated, no? Kung ganong kabilis bumilang ang PICOs, ganon din kabilis magdagdag bawas. No? Kaya nga tayo merong safeguard. Kailangan merong safeguards para ma-prevent ito. No? For example, in a manual election, when the ballot is opened, all the representatives of the candidates are there, they look, they see what is tallied. Okay? So there is transparency. In the case of the PICOs, you cannot see. Okay? You don't know what the machine is doing. So ang safeguard dyan is you review the source code. No? You review the code that is the machine is following. Kasi makina lang naman yan. No? So you have to see whether the code contains any malicious code saying that you must deduct from one candidate and add to another candidate. Now, source code has never been made available, no? Even in 2010. Okay?
Director Jimenez, has it not been made available? Para po sa atin na at marami natin tagapanood na hindi po nakakaintindi, ano nga po ba talaga itong source code at bakit, according to Dr. Asurin, ay kailangan i-reveal ito ng COMELEC?
Katulad po nung nasabi ni Dr. Asurin, ang source code po ay parang instruction sa makina. No? So kung merong monkey business dyan, merong nakapasok na backdoor, halimbawa, makikita mo yun pag nakita mo sa source code. And sinabi din ni Dr. Asurin, hindi po naging available ang source code sa mga gusto mag-review. Gusto ko lang po ipaalala na in fact, dinala pa kami sa Supreme Court ng mga grupo na yan. Ano? Sabi sa amin, ilabas nyo. Nung i-reveal namin sa Supreme Court kung ano yung conditions ng pagpapareview namin, sabi namin, kasi meron kaming security concerns So gawin natin sa building namin, hindi kayo pwede maglabas ng kopya, so on and so forth. Sabi ng oo nga naman, tama yan, reasonable yan. So pwede nyong i-review, doon kayo pumunta sa COMELEC. Despite that, however, and gusto ko din malaman sana yung sagot dito, binoykot yung review facility namin, hindi pinuntahan ni Anino, no? Hindi dumilim sa pintuan namin. No? They never came, and yet they always say, we were never given the opportunity. No? I think that's an illusion that we need to clear up, really, if we're in the business of clearing up illusions. The illusion that the source code was never made available. The source code was available in 2010.
Is it still available?
Well, that's a different source code now, no? Now we're talking about the 2011 source code that we're using, and we hope to make that available within the next 2 weeks.
Just to rebut a little, no? In 2010, no, the conditions were so stringent that it was difficult to review, no. But be that as it may, no, in the countersuit of Smartmatic against Dominion, who is the real owner of the source code, they specifically say that the charge against Dominion is that you did not put the source code in escrow with the central bank. That is a specific allegation of Smartmatic against Dominion. So, one would conclude na kaya nyo pala pinahirapan yung pag-review ng source code kasi wala yung source code.
Gusto ko lang linawin. Gusto ko lang linawin. Doon sa sinasabing countersuit, hindi sinabi ng Smartmatic sa Dominion na hindi nyo nilagay sa central bank. Mali po yun. Ang usapan nila ay ilalagay nila sa Iron Mountain, which is a facility in the United States. And ang sinasabing source code, hindi yung source code na binigay sa atin. Ibang source code yun.
Ano po yun?
Kasi ang Smartmatic, no, meron silang licensing agreement with Dominion. Ngayon, kasama doon sa licensing agreement, yung teknolohiyang ibinigay nyo sa amin, na meron kaming kopya, dapat bigyan nyo rin mag-escrow kayo ng pinaka-main source code ninyo. No? Hindi yung derivative na yung ibinigay sa atin, kundi yung source code that's between them. Remember, hindi lang naman tayo kliyente ng Smartmatic. Marami ang kliyente worldwide. And in some of those, ginagamit nila yung teknolohiya ng Dominion. Kaya, kailangan nila makuha yung source code as a security for them bilang licensee. Yun po ang tinutukoy na source code ng Smartmatic, hindi yung source code natin. Yung source code natin, we made it available. Sabi nila masyadong stringent. Kailangan nating i-review
Bakit
diba?
po dapat maging stringent sa pagpapareview ng source code?
Actually, ang nakikita ko lang dyang stringency dyan dahil ayaw naming ipakopya Gusto namin, kung i-review nyo, dun kayo sa opisina namin, meron kami mga workstation dyan, sabihin nyo sa amin, sabihin nyo sa amin kung anong tools ang kailangan nyo, kami ang kukuha para sa inyo. And then you use it there. Meron pa kaming kama, tulugan, paliguan. Kasi alam namin, mahirap na trabaho ito, 24-hour job ito. So we made it available to them. No, I don't know. I don't, from where I'm sitting, the difficulty of the conditions was only in that ayaw naming i-release yung source code. Ayaw naming kunin from our facility, ilabas, i-save, at gawin yung source code kung saan. Paano natin i-control yung security naman noon? So yun lang yung sa amin. And then we think na, and pinatigan naman kami ng Korte Suprema, na, tama naman yung conditions ninyo
In 2 weeks daw po, according to Director Jimenez, Dr. Asurin. Bakit po?
Rule of thumb, to review source code, it will take you as long as it took to write the source code.
Which is about how long?
Maybe a year. 6 months to a year. We don't know how large the source code is. It's probably very large. No? But basically, the time it took you to write it would be the time it would take you to review it. No? Now, I would just like to continue on the previous
Yes,
one.
go ahead.
No?
We will answer it for
The source code should have been made available when the technology was selected. Okay, should be made available to independent groups and to political parties. It was not. That's a violation of the poll automation law. Okay. Secondly, they disabled the personal digital signatures of the Board of Election Inspectors. Okay. Now that is again a requirement of the poll automation law. Why did you disable it? That means you cannot authenticate and validate transmissions. You don't know where it's coming from. Okay. It could come from the 60 machines coming in Antipolo, and you don't know. You cannot validate. No. Second, third, the CF card should be a write once only card. No? The reason for that is that the CF card contains instructions for appreciating the ballot. No? Nandun yung coordinates nung saan mo babasahin yung sinade. Okay? Kung baguhin mo yan, hindi na babasahin nyo yung sinade. Ilihis mo lang yan lang konti, hindi babasahin yung kwan. Now, they're using writable CF cards. No? That is non-specification. That's not what was specified. Okay.
Alright. Dr. Azurin, if I may,
sige.
pa-answer po natin punto
Sige.
por punto. Yung pangalawa po, yung digital signature daw po, tinanggal. Bakit po ba itinanggal ito ng COMELEC?
Well, several reasons. No? Una, yung digital signature, ang konsepto talaga ng maraming tao dyan ay merong isang klaseng implementasyon ng digital signature. No? Ito yung public key infrastructure. At the time na ginawa natin yung halalan ng 2009, wala tayong lokal na ganong infrastructure. And kung kukuha tayo ng ganong klaseng service from an outside company, no, a foreign company, aabutin tayo ng bilyon. Pangalawa, sabihin natin gumastos tayo ng ganong karami, ibibigay mo yan sa bawat guro. Bawat isang guro na ina-assign natin ahead of time, di ba? So, bibigyan mo yan. Pero, sa totoong buhay, yung election natin, kuminsan, yung guro on election day, hindi So, ano mangyayari ngayon? So, gagawa ka ngayon ng digital signatures para sa backup. So, just in case na yung mga guro na ginawa mo, na binigyan mo ng digital signature, ay no-show. Or all of a sudden, biglang madi-disqualify. So, nagmamount yung cost mo. At the same time, hindi naman nasisecure yung sistema. Kasi nga, binigay ko nga sa'yo, BEI ka. Paano kung ikaw naman ang i-compromise ng kalaban? Or ng kung sinong politiko? Pwede mo rin gamitin yung access mo to the machine for whatever you want to do, no? And this matter, again, I have to say, was raised before the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court said they didn't violate the law.
Pero hindi daw po ngayon malalaman kung saan nanggagaling
Hindi rin totoo yan.
yung impormasyon. Mamaya po, pasasagot
Sige po.
natin po yan sa inyo sa pagbabalik po ng paghahanda para sa Hatol ng Bayan.
Ang Precinct Count Optical Scanner o tinatawag na PIC ay kasalukuyang ginagamit at gagamitin sa paparating na 2013 elections. Ang seguridad ng boto ng isang mamamayan ay importante at ang sagot rito ng PICOS ay ang pagkakaroon ng tatlong uri ng security. Ang una rito ay ang pagkakaroon ng security card at hindi gagana ang PICOS kapag wala ito. Pangalawa naman ang pagkakaroon ng encryptions ng data na sinasabing mahirap lusutan. Ang huli rito ay ang paulit-ulit na pagtatago ng mga tali, hindi lamang ang tali mismo kundi ang litrato nito.
Nagbabalik ang paghahanda para sa Hatol ng Bayan, hatid sa inyo ng Media ng Bayan. Kami ay napapakinggan nyo rin sa PBS Radyo ng Bayan 738 kHz. Kilalanin natin ang Ace Watch at paano nabuo ang election watchdog group na ito.
Sa panahon kung kailan ang halalan ay gumagamit ng makabagong teknolohiya upang mas dumali, iba't ibang grupo ang nagsasagawa ng mga hakbang upang masigurado na ito ay magiging malinis pa rin. Ang AES Watch o Automated Election System Watch ay isang samahan ng mga concerned groups at individual na sumusubaybay sa paghahanda para sa halalan. Isa sa kanilang pamamaraan ay ang paggamit ng System Trustworthiness, Accountability, and Readiness Scorecard o STAR Card. Mayroong 4 na kategorya na tinitignan ng STAR Cards. Una diyan ang pagsaset up ng system. Tinitignan kung magiging handa ang system bago dumating ang halalan sa Mayo. Nariyan din ang internal security and trust kung saan susukatin ang kalagayan ng sistema laban sa maling impormasyon. Ikatlo ay ang personal training and voters education kung saan sinusukat naman ang kaalaman ng mga grupong magbabantay at magiging mismong botante pagdating sa proseso. At ang contingencies o ang kahandaan kung sakaling may ilang bagay na pumalya. Sa paghahanda, sinasabing magkakaroon ng kaayusan, subalit mababaliwala ang kahandaan kung mismong botante ay hindi magiging tapat at matalino sa pagboto. Sa darating na 13 ng Mayo, bumoto ng tama dahil walang ibang nakasalalay rito kundi ang ating kinabukasan.
Ito naman ang isang katanungan mula sa publiko. Ang tanong na ito ay mula kay Resty ng Parañaque para sa COMELEC. Naresolban nyo na ba yung kawalan ng signal ng mga PCOS machine sa mga malalayong lugar? May alternative plan ba kayo para dito? Balikan natin si Cathy San Gabriel para sa pangalawang bahagi ng panayam sa ating mga panauhin ngayong araw. Cathy?
Maraming salamat, Robert. Kasama pa rin po natin sina Director James Jimenez ng COMELEC at Dr. Rene Azurin, kolumnista ng Business World at mula po sa AES Watch. Yung katanungan po mula sa ating manonood patungkol dun sa signal. There were problems in some areas ng 2010 elections. What are you doing to improve this?
Well, ang problema po natin mostly, no, hindi tayo makakuha ng signal para sa transmission. Meron tayong, sa sistema natin, meron tayong several SIM cards na pinagpapalit-palit natin. Kung ano yung pinakamagandang signal, yun ang gagamitin. Kung hindi talaga umubra yun, meron din tayong mga VSAT or BGAN. Yung VSAT, nangangailangan niya ng line of sight, no, sa satellite. Yung BGAN, para siyang napakatinding transmitter lang na maliit. So, we can use those to improve the transmission. Ngayon, there are some cases talaga sobrang hirap mag-transmit. Contingency measures, no? And nagagawa naman natin ng paraan. And hopefully, we can cut down the delay this time.
I bring you back to my question before we pause to a break. Sabi po natin kanina, hindi po ba mako-compromise yung results without the digital signature? Because according to Dr. Azurin, pwede daw mag-send ang any PCOS machine, yung mga na-recover po dati na nawala, pwede daw po mag-send ito ng false data.
Well, yun po yung nakakalungkot doon kasi yung makina sa Antipolo, hindi naman talaga nawala yun. It's just that nagkataon lang, nakita ng isa sa mga partisans na it was awaiting transport in someone's home, no? Yung home ng PCOS technician. And then, syempre, lumobo na yung issue doon.
But is this allowed po?
That was probably not strictly technically allowed, but at the time kasi, ang protocol natin was if you're retrieving the PCOS, dapat ilalagak mo yan sa isang safe place, no? Habang hinihintay yung tinatawag nating reverse logistics, yung kukuha niyan. Ang problema, nire-refuse ng municipal treasurer ata or some responsible person sa City Hall, ayaw niya tanggapin. Takot siya eh. So, the tech had nowhere to go, no? Hindi niya pwedeng iwan sa mga eskwelahan. So, he took charge of it and I believe tinawag niya, dito niyo pick upin, and so papunta na yung truck, kaso by the time dumating yung truck, nandun na yung mob, nandun na yung crowd, no, of partisans who were already shouting about cheating and whatnot. At that point, even at that point, obviously there was no proof except that it was not in a place where they expected it to be. And that was very unfortunate, no? Pero nakita naman natin, later on pa nga, one of the partisans even forced open one of the machines. Medyo foul din yun, ano? But anyway, that we all got over that, pero yun na nga, nandun pa rin yung pangamba na nagamit yung 60 na yon. Ang PCOS machine po, ano yan eh? Yan eh. No? Hindi yan supercomputer, hindi yan pwede mag-enslave ng ibang makina. Wala pong ganung kakayanan yung PCOS kahit ngayon.
Yung pangatlong punto po ninyo, yung CF cards. Bakit po ba mahalaga na gumamit ng bagong CF cards, Dr. Azurin?
Na yung right ones.
Right ones. Okay. Bakit
right
po?
ones read many. Tawag nila worm. No? Kasi the important thing sa automation is the process. Okay? You have to ensure that the process is, one, transparent. Second, that it cannot be compromised. No? So, when the program on the CF cards is written, dapat hindi yun muna pwedeng patungan ng ibang CF cards. Dahil padadala mo yung CF cards kung saan-saan di ba? So, dapat hindi mo na pwedeng patungan nga yung para palitan yung kung ano yung nakalagay doon, no? So that's non-specification, no? So, I mean, that's not specification. Lately, no, in a resolution of the COMELEC, they have even said, we will tell you which precincts will be randomly, manually audited. No? That's the last defense of the citizens, no? Random manual audit. In other words, 10 I think is it 10% of the precincts, no?
Testingin po.
Immediately after the election, pipiliin, bubuksan, i-compare yung automated count at saka yung manual count. No? Now, tinatawag yan random manual audit. Okay? Kaya random yan, dapat hindi pre-selected. No? But the COMELEC resolution says 2 days before the election day, we will announce which ones, we will disclose which precincts will be audited. No? Now, that means mga dagdag bawas operators or whoever will just avoid those precincts. No? And there is the random nature of the audit process is gone, and therefore making the whole process ineffective. Now, that is our last defense. That is the last method, the last mechanism of citizens to somehow validate the integrity of the machine. No? So basically, what we're saying is that COMELEC has, in its decisions and actions, removed all the mechanisms available to the citizenry to monitor, control, and possibly validate what we're getting. In effect, we're left we're placed in the situation wherein whatever COMELEC says is the result, we have to accept because we have no mechanism for proving otherwise.
Director Jimenez, bakit po i-anunsyo ng COMELEC itong polling precincts na kasali dun sa random manual audit?
I may be wrong, no? But ang tanda ko dun sa resolution is that hindi siya precinct specific, no? Yung i-announce namin. One of the things that we experienced in 2010, kasi si 2010 ang ginawa namin, on election day mismo, dun kami nagtambiolo eh. Dun kami pick ng balls, no? Basically to determine kung saan pupunta yung mga random audit teams. Dahil doon, natagalan sobra yung deployment and natagalan din yung simula ng random manual audit. Ang random manual audit, ang pinaka-importante dyan ay makuha mo yung datos immediately after magsara yung polling place. No? Immediately after matapos lahat. Kaya ang proseso niyan, tatapusin lahat, isisil yung makina, and then immediately after, bubuksan yung seal ng random manual audit at itutuloy yung audit. Hindi pwedeng mangyari yun kung doon mo lang sa election day aalamin kung saan ka pupunta. No? Hindi ka makakapag-deploy. Kung magde-deploy ahead of time nang hindi sinasabi sa publiko na nakahanda, nakaabang na kami dito kasi dito kami kukuha, magmumukha namang merong kaming tinatago. No? So ang compromise kasi doon, i-identify na yung area kung saan kukunin, pero hindi sasabihin kung ano yung specific precincts. So, susugal pa rin kumbaga may gamble pa rin, kung kunyari, dagdag bawas operator ka, hindi mo naman pwedeng iwasan yung isang buong area, di ba? I don't know, I'm assuming na kung ganun ang operation, but the point is, you have to have people situated in the area so that they can be there at the proper time. And if you don't know ahead of time where you're going to send them, then that becomes very, very difficult. Especially if you're drawing the balls, drawing the lots on election day itself. No? That becomes very, very difficult. Ang safeguard natin dyan is that hindi natin alam kung saan presinto. No? Imagine, you have a
Kailan
big
po madedetermine
That's not my recollection.
That's on the day. Oh, yun na nga. I'm not so sure.
It's the precinct, no?
Yeah, that would run counterintuitive to me, no? But I'll have to check that.
Yeah,
but
that's what's in
my
the resolution.
understanding is that was what we talked about, and dapat nakasituate na kayo sa lugar, and then on the day itself, syempre may mga sasakyan kayo, no? So pag na-identify na kung saan yung specific precinct, dun lang sila lalarga.
Okay, those things having been said, Dr. Azurin, ano po ang ginagawa ng inyong grupo para po mabantayan ang boto nating lahat sa darating na halalan?
Well, in fact, I've been asked by several watchdog groups, what do I suggest? No? At the moment, and basically my answer is, given what COMELEC has decided, there's nothing we can do. We're helpless. No? We have no mechanisms. Anong babantayan mo? pupunta ka sa presinto, hindi mo na makikita kung anong binibilang. There's no random manual audit. It's not random. No? There's no source code. What is available to us? Nothing. There's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can see. There's nothing we can prove. Comelec keeps saying, prove it. We cannot prove anything. Not under these conditions. No? I think what we should understand, as I said at the beginning, it is far easier to do wholesale cheating in an automated system than in a manual system. Sa manual system,
How can it be done po?
marami kang kailangan kausap. In fact, election cheating in this country is a very robust industry. No? There are many manual dagdag bawas operators who will offer you. In the case of electronic cheating, no, you don't need to talk to many people. You just need one knowledgeable programmer and somebody who will give him insider access. That's it.
So,
That's
in digital dagdag bawas po, kasi kanina nyo po mini-mention dagdag bawas, paano po ba ito ginagawa?
Well, there are many ways. No, one is you insert malicious into the software. Okay,
But how can it be done? The software is with Comelec.
if you're an insider. I mean, that's what I'm saying. No, the danger here is not so much an outsider. The danger here is that there is an insider, and you don't need many. You just need one or two. No, who will give one programmer who understands the system to make the necessary. In fact, that is why some countries like Germany, Ireland, etc., they've gone away from automated elections. No, in the U.S., no, those who have studied the automated election system, said there is no way we can secure the system.
Alright. Director Jimenez, paano po ine-ensure ng Comelec na walang insider na maglalabas po nitong software o any information na kukopyahin?
Okay. No? Ang sinasabi natin dito, pag meron kang insider, kayang-kaya niya mag-program, kayang-kaya niyang ayusin yung buong sistema. Hindi ho ganun. Kasi kung ganun ang sistema, ibig sabihin yan, yung internal structure namin, kayang patumbahin ng isang Herodes lang. Diba? And how can that be when you have multiple levels of checking within the whole commission? Diba? Parang, it just seems, I think, for me, very, very difficult to accept that it would take only a few people to actually manage this. Why? Number one, there's a whole project management team that's looking at this. No? So, every step, meron tayong mga check sa mga sistemang ginagawa. Pangalawa, ultimately, meron kang balotang pwedeng balikan. Sabihin natin, hindi mo siya just for the sake of argument, and this is a very, very, very remote possibility, sabihin natin, meron ng isang genius dyan sa loob na kayang magmanipula ng eleksyon. Paano yung mismong balota? Paano niya aayusin so that later on, kapag may nagprotesta, because there will be protests, paano niya magagawa na yung balota masisynchronize niya o mako-coincide niya with whatever his manufactured result is? Because remember, ang pandaraya, nagsasucceed yan if it goes undetected. If it doesn't go undetected, it's pointless, right? So, pag may nagreklamo, mabubuksan yung balota, kita mo, andyan.
Actually, the process makes it very difficult to in the case of Compostela Valley, recently, because of a
We will
court
talk
order,
about that. We need to pause for a break. Babalikan po natin yung iba pang isyong kinakaharap ng automated elections. Magbabalik po ang paghahanda para sa hatol ng bayan.
Bawat balotang ginagamit sa automated elections ay may nakatagong security features kagaya ng barcode at ultraviolet ink na di madaling makita. Ang mga ito na malaman kung ang balotang ginagamit ay orihinal.
Nagbabalik po ang paghahanda para sa hatol ng bayan, hatid sa inyo ng media ng bayan. Kami po ay napapakinggan nyo rin sa PBS Radyo ng Bayan 738 kHz. Kasama pa rin po natin sina Comelec spokesperson James Jimenez at Rene Asurin, kolumnista ng Business World. Kanina po, bago tayo nag-break, Dr. Asurin, may sinasabi po kayo tungkol dun sa resulta ng eleksyon sa Combal. Pakikwento po sa amin yun.
well, kasi sabi ni Director, pwede mo naman i-verify yan. No? The ultimate check is that you open the ballot box, you check
Manual.
whether it tallies, no? The manual tallies, automated tally. Now, that is fine. No? if you can open the ballot box. No? The problem is yung proseso para mabuksan mo yung ballot box, napaka-complicated. No? In fact, as an example, no, in the Compostela Valley mayoralty election, ngayon lang binubuksan yung ballot box. Tapos na yung term. Pero ngayon pa lang binubuksan yung ballot box based on an RTC Regional Trial Court order. No? So, binuksan yung ballot box, yung unang bukas, no? Nakita kagad na yung boto iba. No? Yung original vote showed that Quiñones, no? Who is the sitting mayor, had more votes. No? Pagbukas nung yung first 4 precincts, it showed na baliktad si what's his name, Cagas, no? Votes Quiñones, no? So, ibig sabihin, hindi tugma yung original automated count dun sa ngayon nakikita sa manual count, no? So, tama si Director Jimenez na kung mabuksan mo, okay, no? Ang problema, hindi mo mabuksan no? Hindi madaling buksan ang ballot box, no? And in fact, that's why importante sana yung random manual audit, no? Dahil at least 10% pwede mabuksan, no? So, pero yun, tinanggal, basically, ginawang ineffective yung random manual audit. So, wala na tayong remedyo.
Director Jimenez, may mga nangyayari, marami po bang nangyayaring mga ganitong pagkakataon, katulad ng isinaad ni Dr. Azurin sa atin, na hindi nagtatali yung manual dun sa automated results?
I'll give you an example, no? Halos katulad lang nung kasong yon. Actually, parehong-pareho. Sa Imus, Cavite, no? Ang away nung dalawang kandidato para sa mayor, yung nanalo, di prinotesta siya. Dinala sa korte. Sabi ng korte, kami magbubukas, i-ignore natin yung rules ng COMELEC for recount. So, binuksan nila. Kung ganito dati yung kanilang estado, no? Ito yung nanalo, ito yung natalo. Biglang nung nag-recount yung korte, bumagsak sila pareho. Pero mas maraming binagsak yung isa kesa doon sa natalo originally. So, naupo yung dating natalo. That's a situation where hindi nagtali yung manual recount versus doon sa automated count. So, palpak ang pikos, yun ang sinabi ng tao. Nung dinala sa COMELEC yan, binuksan natin ulit, tinignan natin yung mga balota, nakita natin yung mga balota tampered. So, tinignan natin yung ballot images. Nung nakita yung ballot images, lumabas yung tunay na resulta. Panalo talaga yung unang nanalo. Ang nangyari, after the elections, someone opened the box, no? And nag-shade siya na nag-shade. Kasi ang rule natin, no overvoting, di ba? So, sa posisyon ng mayor, dapat isa lang binoto mo. Kung sinade mo yung isa pang pangalan,
wala na yun.
Wala na yun. So, yung kanyang resulta, hindi sila nagdagdagan. Nabawasan sila pareho, pero mas marami yung binawas doon sa inoperate.
Okay.
So nagkaroon ng discrepancy, no? Yun ang punto natin. Nagkaroon ng discrepancy. So yun ngayon ang tinuturo ng maraming mga kontra sa teknolohiyang ginagamit natin or sa AES, no? Pero hindi nila kasi tinutuloy yung kwento. Pag tinuloy mo yung kwento, makikita mo na nung verify yung mismong ballot images, tama pala talaga. Ibig sabihin, ang pandaraya hindi naganap doon sa makina, naganap doon sa balot ng minanipula later on. Tama si Dr. Azurin. I am very, very sad about that, no, to concede the point na talagang ang bagal ng proseso. At yun yung isa sa mga dapat nating ayusin, no? Kaya nga pinag-iigihan namin yung random manual audit kasi again, like Azurin said, yun talaga ang pinakamagandang safeguard diyan. So, titingnan ko ulit yung resolution at again, iba yung pagkakaalala ko, no? But again, hindi ko naman masabi yun 100% na tama ako. But definitely, isang magandang area yan para pagandahin pa yung bantay ng COMELEC.
Director Jimenez, alam na po natin na may nag-tamper ng ballot box. Paano po nabuksan yun? And ano po ang ginagawa ninyo para hindi na maulit yung mga ganitong pagkakataon?
Yung ballot box kasi, kapag nagkaroon ng eleksyon, nare-retain yan doon sa lugar. And so, kailangan talaga bantayan yung ballot box. There's really no other way to do it but to make sure na yung bantay sa ballot box ay talagang mainam at talagang stricto. Because otherwise, mapupuslitan ka. Ang maganda niyan, yun na nga, kahit anong mangyari dun sa balota, meron ka ng ballot image. Yung ballot image, yun yung picture na kinuha ng makina doon sa balota mo the minute you feed it. The minute you feed the ballot, pristine botante lang may hawak, walang ibang nakagalaw nun. So pagpasok mo sa makina, pipicturean ka agad yun. So it's the state of the ballot at that very moment. No? So yun yung pinakamagandang record niyan. Yung datos na yun, nasisecure ka agad natin. Yung ballot box, not so much. Kasi nga, na-maintain yan dun sa lugar. But definitely, yan yung area na dapat paghigpitan, no, ng security.
Dr. Azurin, marami pong issues na binabaton nyo po sa automated elections ng inyong grupo. Ano po ang gusto nyong mangyari sa ngayon? Gusto nyo po bang bumalik tayo sa manual counting?
Actually hindi, no? Basically, ang gusto sana namin na pag-implement nitong process, merong transparency. And the transparency is achieved by following the safeguards placed in the poll automation law, like source code review, digital signatures, random manual audit, etc., etc. No? That is what we would like, because we understand that an automation process is very easy to subvert. No? So the safeguards have to be there so that the process is transparent and therefore the election is credible. No? Without transparency, the election is not credible. No? But kagaya at this point, no, what can we do? If your question is what can we do at this point? Well, we cannot do anymore the source code review. No? If COMELEC will not institute the personal legitimacy, we cannot do anything about that. If the random manual audit is as contained in the resolution, we cannot do anything about that. So, wala na, no? What we would probably suggest can be done at this point, assuming COMELEC agrees, is that we revert to a manual counting at the precinct. At least you have a transparent precinct count. People can see the ballots. You can use the same ballots, you just shade, no? But you count. Then you transmit it and canvass electronically. You still get the results in one day.
So, ang mangyayari po parang semi-automated.
Yeah.
Ang automated lang po yung pag-transmit.
At sa pagtali, no? Pag-canvass, yeah.
Is this possible po? Is this doable?
It's probably not something that we're gonna do, no?
Why
Ang
not,
problema, una-una, yung sinasabi nilang napaka-transparent ng manual system na bilangan, hindi po talaga eh. Kasi unang-una, tingnan mo ha, pag ginamit mo yung balotang ganyan, magbibilangan kayo. Ang hirap magbilang ng automated ballot, yung bilog-bilog. Hirap yon. Aabutin tayo ng isang buong araw noon. Matatapos ka ng alas 7 ng gabi, matatapos ka kinabukasan na. No, hindi mo matatapos talaga yan ng mabilisan. Tapos pagkatapos niyan, yung tali mo, taras mo, yung old taras, yung maliliit na stick figures. Tapos, yung problema mo dati, na magkakamali yung mga teacher mo sa pag-a-add nun. O kung hindi man sila magkamali, mamaliin nila ng deliberate in case na compromise na sila. Lahat yung problemang yun. Tapos, hindi lang yun. So, mamano-mano nila yung results preparation. Tapos, yung pagmamigrate mo pa ng result from a manually prepared document to an electronic format, meron kang magta-type nun. You're talking about 77,000 precincts. What transparency are we talking about? Are we going to is everyone who says it's going to be transparent going to field someone in all of the 77,000 precincts to watch the whole process from start to finish? You're talking about more than 12 hours. You're talking about more than 24 hours even. And yun na nga, ang daming points of vulnerability. Sure, mabilis ang canvassing mo, pero gaano kalinis yung kinanvas mo? 'Di ba? Kasi nga may error ka sa bilang, may error ka sa reports preparation, may error ka pa sa transposition ng report from manual form to digital. So, 3 error points, ang laking proseso nun. And you're talking about more than 77,000 precincts. It just boggles how anyone would want to go back to that system.
To respond.
Go ahead.
Basically, it's a difference between, in the case of babantayan ba 77,000 precincts yung babantayan mo. But the candidates who are candidates in that precinct will put their watcher. And therefore, the watchers of the various political parties and candidates can see what is the election. The dayaan in the precinct is retail. No? So, basically, pwede magdayaan yan. The same old dayaan that we've gone through all it. Sure. But the difference is between people being able to see what is being counted as people not being able, no one is able to see what is being counted because it's counted in a machine. No? That's the thing that we have to balance. No? Now, in this case, essentially what COMELEC is saying, you just trust us. I don't want to be placed in that.
Rejoinder lang, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Sinasabi natin yung mga politiko magbabantay. Yung mga politiko ngayon nag-aaway-away na dapat kami ang maano dyan umangat dyan Remember, when politicians make bantay, it's not to ensure really a patas count. You have to, let's be honest about it, it's to ensure na manalo ako, na hindi ako matalo, no? And second, yung sinasabi natin, it's a choice between trusting the COMELEC or opening up the process to so many vulnerabilities. I would think that the almost certainty that cheating will occur, and it's not retail, because you have to understand, yung sinasabing wholesale cheating na nagaganap sa canvassing, dyan nag-uugat sa manual counting. Kasi yun yung report na inaayos Yung report na inaayos na kinoconsolidate, doon nang gagaling yung dagdag bawas. So, between the possibility of COMELEC being evil and the certainty of cheating happening, I'm not comfortable putting the weight on the certainty of cheating happening.
Dr. Azurin, sinasabi niyo po kanina, dagdag bawas, there might be an insider somewhere na kinopya yung software, minanipulate. Meron na po bang nalaman kayo talagang instance na ito ay nangyari? Meron na po bang insidente na may isang taong nahuli ang AS Watch or any watchdog na ginawa po talaga ito?
Of course not. Because the mechanism for proving anything is not available. No? But the thing is this. No? To begin with, we're not against automation. In fact, as a techie myself, I'm an engineer. No? I like automation. No? The problem is the fact that COMELEC has disabled all the security safeguards that will make the process at least transparent and at least gives it some integrity. The process gives this process some integrity. Ang tanong is, bakit mo disable lahat yan? Nandiyan naman sa batas yan Bakit hindi mo sinundan yung batas? Ganun lang naman The poll automation law was created by, or was the IT experts contributed to the crafting of the poll automation law and precisely put in the safeguards because they know what can be done with an automated system. No? Now, COMELEC is, you're calling candidates to task for wrong size posters and such, but you're violating the basic law.
Hindi daw po sinusunod ng COMELEC ang batas na nakapaloob dito sa automation.
Dumaan na po kami sa Supreme Court mahigit 3 beses, and every time Supreme Court said no, they didn't violate any law.
Okay, you are saying that without transparency, without all the necessary safety, Azurin, hindi magiging credible ang halalan. So are you saying the coming elections will not produce credible results?
Yes.
No, actually,
it will be a farce.
I think the bigger question is, because they were saying the same things about the 2010 elections, are they in fact saying that the current crop of elected officials do not have a sound mandate? I think that's the question that people should be asking. Is that what we really think? Because the complaints that they have now are the same complaints that they had in 2010. So it follows that if you're saying...
personal opinion on that,
Sige po.
my answer is yes.
There you go.
So you're
Although
saying...
I'm not anymore bothering about the 2010. Mutan academic no? But if you ask me, was the
Pero
count
nakaupo
correct?
pa po yung mga nahalal noong 2010.
Wala na tayong magagawa. That's part of the things we citizens, we helpless citizens simply have to live with. No? But if you ask me, was the count... We cannot verify the count unless we open all the ballot boxes.
But
And at this point, you no longer know what happened to the ballots in the ballot boxes.
No,
Okay, what is the COMELEC doing to ensure transparency in this process?
Wait lang. We have, in fact, opened a lot of the ballot boxes. Ang daming ang protesta Diba? And as we said before we started the 2009 preparations, alam natin magkakaroon ng maraming kaso. Kasi nga, people will try to prove the system wrong. And yes, ang daming protesta at lahat yan nare-resolve. No? Example, IMUS. IMUS looked really bad nung una. It turns out, tama pala. No? So, anong ginagawa namin para ma-ensure yung transparency? Well, like I said, we're working towards getting the source code review out, but I think the doctor has said that, Dr. Azurin has already said that it might be useless. That's
Too late.
it's too late. No? So that's a little unfortunate. But yeah, we're doing these things and we're showing everyone what we're doing. We're inviting people to look at all the activities that we're doing.
Run out of time, nalalapit na po ang halalan. Ang mensahe nyo na lang po sa ating mga botante ngayong darating na eleksyon. Dr. Azurin from AES Watch.
Well, to begin with, the selection of Smartmatic was wrong. No? The COMELEC Advisory Committee of both Gloria and the current one recommended that we do not buy the Smartmatic system because it's flawed. No? Granted, okay? But the problem now is that the implementation of COMELEC has removed all the safeguards that might have given us some measure of ability to monitor and to validate the results. No? But that's no longer available to us. We don't have the
So
source
what
code.
can we
no.
do as citizens?
At this point? I'm helpless. I give up.
So payo niyo po sa amin, ang mga dudulog sa polling precincts, ano po ang maaari namin magawa para protektahan naman po yung boto
Wala.
namin?
Wala. Ako, hindi ako boboto. It's a mockery. That's my position. That's a personal position. I'm not advocating it for any of you.
Thank you.
Director Jimenez.
Huwag naman po tayo magbo-boycott ng election. Bad officials are elected into office by good citizens who do not vote. Kailangan po tayong bumoto. Go out and vote.
Okay, maraming salamat po, Director James Jimenez and Dr. Azurin. At magbabalik pa po ang paghahanda para sa Hatol ng Bayan.
Ang maingat na paghawak ng mga balota ay importante sa automated elections. Kinakailangan malinis ang balota, hindi lalagpas ang mga boto at malinis ang pagkulay sa mga hugis bilog dahil hindi ito tatanggapin ng machines kapag ito ay hindi nasunod.
Pinasasalamatan namin ang Ergo Contracts Philippines para sa ating tables and chairs. Buwan sila sa 2634 Rockefeller Street, Barangay San Isidro, Makati City. Pwede nyo silang tawagan sa numerong 843-1177. Maaari nyo ring bisitahin ang kanilang website sa www.ergocontracts.com.
Sa araw na ito, naway nabigyan linaw ng ating mga bisita ang kahalagahan ng automated elections, lalo na ngayong papalapit ang araw ng botohan. Ako, si Cathy San Gabriel.
Ako naman si Robert Tan.
Magandang araw sa inyong lahat.